I got a record-breaking 19 pros to rank all the minis, from those that will make you lose instantly to the minis that you have to use to get wins. Starting with the tier, the minis you must avoid, such as the Barbarian. He literally has nothing to offer, he has basically no base ability, and his star upgrades are just stat increases. He's like chicken with no seasoning. Actually, that's kind of fitting. The stats are there, but he just serves no purpose. Then we have the Wizard. If you have him in your deck, just switch it with the Ice Wizard. I'll tell you why the Ice Wizard completely overshadows him at the end, but next is Wave Master Jr. Let me give you a quiz to explain this. What is she good at? Is it A, countering ranged minis with energy, B, fashion, or C, being the Wave Master's daughter? Well, of course it's A. I know, shocking, right? But the problem is that there are not really any ranged minis with energy that are in the meta right now, so she can't serve a purpose in this meta. But then we have the Witch. Honestly, I feel kind of bad for her. She's like the kid that gets picked on for no reason. All the strong minis right now just counter her so badly because the skeletons can activate Boast. So the royal ghost can just heal, the swordsman can recharge his super, the magic archer can attack like crazy. Then we have the lumberjack. I think Enchanton explains it best here.
Lumberjack just hasn't really found a place in the meta. It's just too much almost elixir commitment to not get that much value. Frenzy time is so fast and it pretty much does what the Lumberjack wants to do in Frenzy time, and I feel like the Lumberjack in the beginning doesn't speed up your minis enough to make it super valuable.
That's why a vast majority of pros put him at the bottom. Then we have the P.E.K.K.A. He attacks so slowly. If you have it in your deck, just switch it with the Mega Knight. I'll tell you why the Mega Knight completely overpowers him at the end. But next is Battle Healer. Wait, why is she here? She works great with ShiuMing. Oh right, yeah, ShiuMing is literally the worst hero in this meta, and Frenzy mode makes healing so much weaker. Moving up to the C tier, these minis are weak, but they are useful in some specific scenarios. Such as the Musketeer. If you have her in your deck, just switch it with the E-Wiz. I'll tell you why the Electro Wizard completely overshadowed her later, but then we have the Miner. Let's do another quiz. What is the Miner good at? Is it A, countering range troops with supers, B, fire safety, or C, fashion? The answer is A. Again, shocking, I know, because he can also dissipate. But that's tough when all range minis with supers aren't really in this meta, so he can't really serve a purpose. Then we have the Fisherman. He just doesn't work as effectively now. You need to upgrade him to pull enemy minis to your side of the board, and upgrade him again to get the free tile area, and the minis in this meta just aren't really affected by being pulled, so he can't get a lot accomplished. Next is the Healing Ranger. This was kind of close. Oh man, it's gonna be hard to cover this. I get really emotional. Why is she so bad now?
5 hours later.
Then we have the Knight. If you have him in your deck, just switch it with the Guard. I'll explain why the Guard completely overshadows him later, but then we have the Archer. She used to work very well with Barbarian in Barb King 2 Elixir, but we don't need to talk about Barbarian again, do we? And Barb King isn't that strong in this meta either. Moving up to the B tier, these minis are okay and they do work well in a few decks, such as the Dart Goblin. He still has that potential to stack up the attack speed and eventually dish out crazy damage, but now he doesn't have that infinite range, which is a big blow. And Frenzy mode just makes every mini attack like crazy anyway, right? Well, that makes him pretty standard. Then we have the Valkyrie. Her AoE attack counters Royal Ghost pretty well, cause the attack will just splash onto him, but other than that, there's nothing much going on for her. That's why the pros are actually quite split about her. Then we have the Giant Skeleton. Despite having less HP than a Healing Ranger, no, I'm not kidding. The bomb is still pretty impactful, but not as impactful as this fucking F-bomb. That's the dumbest thing I could have said. And we have the Bowler. To be honest, I think he's a bit overrated. His clash is very slow, so he can be countered by the other clash, and the stun just isn't super useful in this meta. He's not bad, but he's just not great. Then we have the Golden Giant. He is a great tank, he can get lots of heals when getting stunned, he's just an all-round solid mini. And then we have the guard. The shield he provides to other minis is quite useful, and that pairs pretty well with minis like the Royal Ghost here and the Swordsman, but he's only really good in these specific situations, otherwise you can generally just disregard him. Then we have the Ewis. His super is effective, there's nothing wrong with it, but he's overshadowed by the Magic Archer, which is a way better for Elixir range mini. I'll tell you why towards the end, but long story short, he just isn't as stunning. Moving up to the A tier, these minis are great and I would recommend you use them. Such as the Prince. His ability to disposition minis is so strong, he can ruin an entire setup, just because a mini isn't where he's supposed to be. And his stats are also awesome, one of the highest damage dealing minis. But also is the mini P.E.K.K.A. The Dissipate is so powerful, he's the best counter to Swordsman, and it's also very effective against melee heroes, especially Skeleton King and Countess, which are also very strong. But also we have the Mega Knight. He has so much HP, but that's not what makes him A tier. It's the stuns. If you upgrade him, he can stun so frequently for so long, which makes him one of the best counters to minis like the Royal Ghost, Swordsman, and the Countess. Then we have the Magic Archer. What's amazing about him is the second star. If he gets a kill, he'll just get the increased attack speed, which gets him more chances to get another kill, and that just stacks up his attack speed until he attacks like crazy. And let's not even get into how magical he is in Frenzy. Last but not least, we have the Sphere Goblin. Let's do another quiz. What is the Sphere Goblin good at? A. Dealing lots of damage up front, B. His remodel, or C. The new Candy Elf skin. There's zero debate there. It's A, 100%. Dealing 20 damage for a 2 elixir mini is very impressive, and you can also guarantee the activation of the 3rd star because of no movement, so that's even more damage. Finally, we have the Holy Guac Mini tier. You have to use at least one of the minis here, such as the Swordsman. He deals, frankly, insane damage. 20 damage per super, 32 if you upgrade him to the 1st star. And if you max him out, he can heal and get another super when he kills someone. The only downside is that he gets heavily countered by the Ice Wizard, which is the best 2 elixir mini. The Slow is very effective at countering Swordsman, as I said, but also the Royal Ghost because he can splash the damage with a 2nd star, and of course the 3rd star can counter clash abilities like the Spur Goblin and the Bowler very well. But now, the moment you're all waiting for, the best mini is the Royal Ghost. I know, very surprising. It was the only unanimous decision amongst the pros. He is great because... Wait, let me read the script here. Okay, so that says blah blah blah. Okay, so boring stuff. I'll just let the Royal Ghost himself do the talking. Before I show you the final tier list, I'm gonna be honest. This list doesn't paint the full picture of this meta. Dun dun dun! In fact, it leaves out critical info. Look at this Valkyrie chart again. It results in her being in the B tier. But this is vastly different from this chart, which also results in a B tier mini. So there's this one. And don't get me started in the difference between a high B tier and a low B tier. So it's these graphs that tell the whole story, not the tier list. Which is why I'm giving them to all my awesome hero members. Click the link in the description to become a member to fully understand the strength of each mini. But hey, here's the final tier list. Oh wait, no, right, here is the final tier list. And here's a video putting these minis to the test in some very high stakes games. Don't ask me why I'm doing this with my fingers, it's just fun.